Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on designing a powerful social media strategy to get more clients. And I'm Lorraine Duncan, and I'm from BizGone Social, and I just want to welcome you all to this webinar. Before I begin, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. Before I discovered social media, I was building my practice as a business coach. And then what ended up happening, I played around with some social media and using it mostly just to reconnect with old friends and meet some new people with similar interests. And it was fun. I enjoyed interacting with people. But then something sort of happened. I can't tell you the exact day or time, but at some point in 2011 a light bulb went off in my brain and I realized I was attracting more clients, referrals, and opportunities through social media than any of those traditional marketing methods. And I wasn't even trying. So, basically, I was using social media to strategically build my business. So, with this realization, I eagerly jumped into the world of social media and learned everything I could. I explored the advantages, the options, offered by each network like Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I started analyzing my results and keeping track of the content or posts that seemed to resonate with my people. So, and I was so excited that I started with my clients that I had, especially when I was like doing up a business plan. I just started to put social media as part of the marketing plan. Last year it really became clear to me that while I loved coaching my clients on, some smart business practices, my obsession and passion was really social media. And I changed the name of my business to Biz Gone Social. And I now devote 100% of my time to helping businesses take full advantage of social media marketing. And so some other things you may not know about me is I have over 20 years of in the trenches business experience running a family business with my husband and also running a family business with my father. I know how demanding it can be to own and manage and market your business while trying to carve out some quality personal or family time, or also be able to carve out while you're marketing your business to be able to carve out time so you can do what you're passionate about to earn a living too. So basically, I have incredible, my background as a business coach, I can definitely show you how to integrate social media. Some other things is I have four incredible children and I've been married for 32 years, and I am a first-time grandma, and I've done some missionary in Africa and Belize, missionary work, and when I'm not doing work and when I'm not spending time with my family and kids, I really love to play guitar and sing, and I also enjoy photography. Oh, and I've been known to actually cry at Hallmark commercials. Enough of me. I just want to get right into this. This is my favorite, the dynamic duel. Holy social media, Batman. Really, social media is social. Let's do it. And I want to start this off with, a lot of times we do say that. We say, let's do it. Let's get on social media and let's do it. But I want to caution you that it's really important to do it, but do it in a right way that makes sense for you and your business. So on this webinar, you'll learn how to set your social media business goals, including the right questions you should be asking. How to create a powerful game plan that works includes a discussion on your ideal client and where to find them. How to choose the right social media platforms for your business. How to design your own social media content strategy, and much more. So goals, let's talk about goals. We have to have goals. And so the first kind of goals that I think that are really important when you're thinking about using social media and using certain platforms is you need to set your number goals. So how many will you reach? Set a number. How many leads will you get? Set a number. How many new fans will you get? Set a number. How many Twitter followers will you get? Set a number. Just set some goals. Select what your metric will be. So how you're going to measure it. Will it be reach? Are you going to measure how successful you are with social media by your reach, by your likes, by your shares? Will it be leads? Will it be traffic? Track your progress. here's a really important thing. You really have to know what you're doing and what you're implementing if it's working. And the only way you're going to know that is if you track your progress. So Google Analytics is great. It tells you where the traffic's coming from. It tells you who's spending a lot of time on what pages. So I really highly recommend that if you're just starting out, for instance, and you're getting a website done, make sure you do hook it up with Google Analytics. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything extra. So, just do it. And then Insights on Facebook is awesome. It really tells you a lot of what's going on and where your reach is and where, who's liking your posts and how your posts, if anybody's commenting on your posts. Another thing I use is Crowd Booster and Likealizer, and I'll actually talk a little bit more about that later on. What will be your content strategy goals? Will you keep a calendar? Will you keep a content calendar? Will you have certain goals that you want to reach with your content? Are you really focusing on valuable content? What will that content be? How often will you post that content? These are some things that you need to think before you start with social media. Here's some more important strategic questions. Why? Whenever you start anything, or you should always ask yourself why. And it's the same thing with social media. Why should I be on Facebook? Why should I be on Pinterest? Why should I be on LinkedIn? Why should I use social media to market my business? 4 questions to ask when doing anything with social media for your business. And here's some important questions. Here they are. What are my expectations? Setting expectations is just one of the most important things that you can do when planning a social media campaign. Without stating what you think might happen, you have no way of knowing if you're thinking or what you're implementing is on target. So what you really need to do is you need to, get really excited, for instance, about, having a campaign and, see if it actually does work and have some expectations around it. Make them realistic goals for your overall social media strategy that you're going to have. Would I share this? Whenever you're posting something, whatever piece of content it is, you want to ask yourself, should I share it or would I share this? One of the major mistakes that we see, as creating content is to actually put ourselves in the role of a follower or a fan. So you want to make sure that what you're posting is really going to resonate with your fans and your followers. Always keep their interests and needs in mind. Okay, you might, occasionally you're going to have to actually alter some of your content, and because you realize that maybe it didn't get as much likes or shares as you would like. So you're always asking this question: would I share this? Should I share this? What if it goes viral? And we all want our stuff to go viral, but what if it does? What does that mean for you? Can you handle it if it goes viral? So if your content goes viral, you really want to think about, if it goes viral, will it create more sales? Of course it will. So you want to make sure that you have everything all set up to go viral. My favorite story about someone going viral has been Macklemore. He actually is a rap singer, sort of has an interesting. I like some of his songs. I'm not really crazy about most of them, but because it's just not my music genre. But he actually was told by a producer that he'd never make it big. He would never be big, and he actually just posted on YouTube one of his songs, and it got 1 million hits within hours, I believe. So I mean, you have to think about what will happen to you if it goes viral, and what will it make? Is it good content? You want to just play everything out, because sometimes going viral could possibly be a bad thing. So always prepare for the best scenarios and the worst scenarios when it comes to going viral. And how am I tracking this effort? Again, I'll always ask this question: are you tracking it? Are you tracking How many hits and likes are you getting? Are you tracking how many people are actually going to your website? So you need to know these things, and so get all these things set up and into place right now. So when you're ready to be on one of these social media platforms, you're all ready to go. And here's the big thing. I love this. I love a lot of my clients. I ask this, and this is something you should ask yourself too, but it's another question that I was always asked by some of my potential clients is like, will it take time? And of course, I'm going to just be truthful with all of you right out there. Yes, it's going to take time to listen. Yes, it's going to take time to post. Yes, it's going to take time to grow. And yes, it's going to take time to nurture. So, what does that really mean for you? You have to expect that you're going to spend some time. What I usually do is this is just, an off note before we get into how to create a powerful game plan that works. A great target market discussion is going to happen here in a little bit. But what I want to say is that when it comes to spending time on social media, just schedule it in, pencil it in. So what I do is I do a little in the morning. When I wake up, I read my emails, I go on, I post some things, and then in the afternoon, I see if anybody's commented on, and then I actually go and basically write back anybody who has. In the evening time, like around 5 o'clock, I check one more time. And then, if I'm out or if I'm at an appointment somewhere and there's time to kill, I'm always looking at my cell phone just to see if there is anything there. So, anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is your social media game plan. What is it? So let's create this powerful game plan. Good. Okay. And let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do I just think a great way to show you some strategy is to do with a few things with the different platforms. So one is Facebook. Facebook, I always share this. If everybody knows me, like who knows me, will say, I'll usually tell them I spend more time on Facebook, but I get more of my clients through LinkedIn, I should say. So this little comic says, "Will you be my Facebook friend?" And there used to be a time where you wanted to get as many friends as possible, and you wanted to have a lot of friends, and you wanted to have a lot of likes on Facebook. But it's really not that important as who your likes and who your friends are. So what I want to say is that you need to be able to strategically target these likes. So one of the things I want to just really briefly go over, and this is just basic 101 Facebook, is this is my Facebook page. And so the biggest piece of real estate is where you see, the lady with the horn, be the business that everyone is talking about. And basically what you want to do with that is people have a tendency to click that big piece, even though it doesn't really go anywhere. And so when you click it, you can optimize that a little bit and just put a call to action on the other side. I want to really strongly advise you to do that. That really helps a little bit, but I just wanted to share that. But your strategy with this whole Facebook page is make this first page very, this is the page they come to. This is what they see first, is this big piece of real estate. Make that big piece of real estate like the best looking thing that you could possibly, put out there. Okay. Make it very attractive. I go on Facebook pages a lot and like different pages for various reasons. And I see all the time that some of the pictures are blurry or maybe something's misspelled. So you really want to try your best to do that, to make this very clear. It's really all I'm going to really say on the cover. This is called the cover photo. But some strategies that I use is on Facebook is you want to start a conversation, and that's in a form of many ways. You can ask a question, you can give a picture with a question on it. I will tell you this is what I've learned from experience, that my pictures actually get better reach and get better shares and get better likes than if I just write a question in text. So this is like a game plan that you should have, is that anything that you're going to be starting a conversation with, you want to make sure that you're going to get people to converse on them or engage on them on the post. The other thing is, I said that fans aren't important, but you always want to be thinking on how you're going to expand your fan base, but strategically. And this is where I'm going to have the little conversation about the target market. Okay, so say that you are, for instance, a travel agent. So first of all, travel agents, you're mainly business to consumer. So Facebook is a great place to be. Great place. Another place, I'm not going to talk a lot about Pinterest at all tonight, but Pinterest would be a really cool place. There's this one travel agency out there. I love it. It's called, well, it's not a travel agency. It's a page that I've liked called Road Trippers. I love it. And it shows these most exotic, fancy, vacation type resort places that, you could, and some of them are so expensive that, just only in my dreams would I love to go because it's so beautiful there. But so anyway, so with that, you might want to find out, like, you might want to target like certain groups. So for instance, 20-year-olds, for instance, say you're an exotic travel agent that you sell these, exotic, great, expensive resort-like type vacations, for instance, you're not going to target 20-year-olds that are in college, but you would probably target 40 to 65-year-olds, and you could do that through Facebook. And maybe you might want to start out with who always wants to go on those dream vacations? It's probably equal, but women love to go on vacations. Men love to do the fun stuff like snorkeling and maybe something athletic or something. But, you want to maybe start off with targeting a certain clientele, maybe certain businesses. Maybe you want to target people that maybe have a college education. Maybe, so because maybe they're making enough to actually afford one of these vacations. So you really have to think about who you want to target. You want to think where they are. Where are the people that like to go on vacations? So that's just a travel agent. So say you're a photographer. It's a whole different thing, especially like, for instance, if you're a wedding photographer. So you're always thinking about where you're going to go. It's kind of like where you're going to go fishing. You're going to go fishing where the fish are. So you want to think of, and that's all I'm really going to say about your ideal client. What your ideal client, who you want to target, or people who you like to work with. So you want to think where you're going to find them. So where you're going to find them on Facebook, that's one way, is targeting age groups through like ads or something like that. The other way is groups. Okay, so for instance, I'm business to business. So I look for groups that have businesses in it, especially small businesses to mid-sized business. So, and I look to, maybe add value to that group by posting very valuable content. And then by then people are really a little bit very curious about what I do. And then they actually go on and maybe like my page. So that's how I'm increasing my fan base. There's other ways I'm increasing my fan base, but that's just one way. The other way I increase my fan base is through Twitter. I will actually post my blog post on Twitter, and my blog is connected to my website, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I have a bunch of social share buttons on my blog, and usually when people follow me on Twitter, they're usually going to follow me on Facebook too. And again, I had said this before, you're always analyzing and optimizing. This is really important. Facebook has some really interesting things. You can actually program stuff through Facebook. So in other words, you can program for as long as you want. Like I'm going to be going on vacation soon. So what I'm going to basically be doing is programming my Facebook, and then everything else is done by Hootsuite. And so some other important questions that I want you just to think about with Facebook. So what do you want to accomplish through Facebook? Pictures are, say, a wonderful thing. if you're a photographer, for instance, I'm just using these as two examples that, that are easy to explain, but you want to be able to post really good, clear pictures. And so if that's something you want to accomplish, that's great. For me, I want to accomplish just getting out there in a big way, but I want to accomplish also, I want to get more people sharing my content. So that's what I try to do. How much time do you want to spend on Facebook? I spend about a half an hour, 15 minutes a day, not even. Sometimes, like if I'm like out and I'm waiting at the doctor's office or something, I'll go on Facebook and I'll do some stuff there too. Who will execute my Facebook strategy? That's all up to you. If you're gonna do it, that's great. Or there are plenty of companies out there, such as myself, of course, that do Facebook strategy and help you execute it. Is Facebook the best platform for my business? Well, I just shared with you like two businesses, like for instance, photography and travel. Okay, that's great. Facebook is great to be on. Any consumer based is really, really good to be on Facebook. Okay, it's really good. If you're business to business, not so, but I mean, Coca-Cola and Starbucks and some of the big names out there are doing fine, fantastic. I love to do Facebook. I think Facebook is serving me in many ways. So, I mean, but you don't want to, if you're a business to business, there's other, I'm going to share in a little bit what I think is the best platform for business to business. How will you know if your efforts are working? And that's the big thing, is you can look at the insights. If you have a fan page on Facebook, the insights actually will actually tell you a lot. It will tell you who you're reaching, who's sharing, how many people you're liking your page per day. It will give you a green arrow up or a red arrow down. You don't want to see a lot of red all the time. If you see a lot of red all the time, you want to correct that and get some greens going. So strategy, you want to have some strategy with Facebook. Again, it's not just about likes. It's about connection. You want to connect with people who are your ideal client and your target market. You want to target certain groups of people, and then your content. I'm going to share this in other later on too, but content is king. Content has to be valuable, and it's not what you like, but it has to be what your client likes, or what your potential clients will like. You want to just add so much value that you're just giving away so much value that they're just getting to know you with every piece of content you produce. Consistency is key. You can't just start and then stop. Like I said before, is like what I do is I post in the morning, then I go on to see if anybody actually engaged on any of my posts. And why this is so important, think about if, you were at a wedding, for instance. Say you were at a wedding and you're all your friends are there, and somebody came up to you and go, "Hey," they'll say to me, "Hey, Lorraine, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages." And instead of asking them how they were and it's good to see you, I just totally ignore them and walk away. Well, that's what it's like if you post something on one of the social media platforms and then you just walk away. You just don't ever go on to see if anybody is engaged. So, for instance, on Twitter, a lot of times some of my content is retweeted. I always try to thank people for, retweeting me, or if I share a lot of people's stuff too. So that's another way that I, help, that I help my engagement. So some offline promotions, I just want to just share, like, I should say my fifth strategy is some offline promotion of your business, which would be excuse me, mobile, connecting your email signature, your business cards. Just make sure that once you have a social media strategy in place, that you're asking people to like your Facebook page on your business card, or you have those social URLs, a website, of course, and then a course newsletter. Some Facebook etiquette that I think is very important to strategy is try to stay away from religion and politics when it comes to business. Don't copy someone else's status verbatim. use the 80-20 rule when posting. Oh, so I didn't really talk about this, but this is strategic. I kind of change it up a little bit. Sometimes I do 75-25, but or I'll do 60-40, or like actually 60-30-10, something like that. But what you want to do, 80% is personal, something fun, something light, but valuable, something that your ideal target market would like. And the 20% is promoting, but not true promoting like buy me, buy this, buy this, buy that, buy that, but more like, giving, maybe sharing somebody else's content. And then, sharing an event. Don't always try to like sell your product, because people get tired of that. And again, I'm going to just say this, the best strategy you can have when it comes to social media is that everything you post is good content. And connect with any new Facebook friends. If somebody connects with you, a lot of people will use I don't recommend this. I think you should have a separate page from your personal page. So your personal profiles, it should be yours and yours only. Your business is just a fan page, a connection page, but make sure you try to connect with those people and always keep it positive. Nobody likes nobody likes a Debbie Downer, and you just don't want to be negative all the time, because, life is, it's fun, but it's hard in some cases. It doesn't have to be too hard, but you want to, you want to pour into people positive information, things that are going to help them, not bring them down. So you don't want to bring down anybody. I didn't talk about this, but this is a big strategy, and when to do it and how to do it. I could spend a whole webinar on, but I don't want to not talk about it. You want to do some advertising, and as you could see, it's an interesting thing. I wish I had an arrow that I'm not sure you might not be able to see the arrow, but if you look at this page right now, you'll see that this is just something that I promoted. And one of it was the name of the thing that I promoted was utilizing social media for your business workshop. Now, this was actually a live workshop. So I did this locally. So I only targeted people, like I live in Connecticut and I live in Fairfield County. So I only targeted people in Fairfield County. So that's about, and what you could see is that you see that here, I tested one ad and it got over 2,000 reaches. And then in another ad I did with different copy, I only got 3 reaches. So these are things that you want to look at. It's kind of called an A/B test. You want to see which ad copy is working, and then redo it. Utilize it for something different. Utilize it in some of the same words. If it's working, use it until it doesn't work anymore. So this was just an example of another one of my ads. As you could see, this is a live workshop. So I had like over 1,570 people saw the post. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Facebook. Some strategy with Twitter. I love this little comment. It says, "What have you done in your life?" And then it goes, "Didn't you read my tweets?" So anyways, Twitter is an interesting thing. So I'm going to tell you my strategy, and this is basically all I pretty much use Twitter about, but I'm going to share some more stuff about Twitter. Twitter, I think, is really important. A lot of people are on it, and the one thing I like about it, it's not long, and there's not a lot of detail. It's short, sweet, and to the point, and you just put a little link, and most people sometimes will click it. So I spend, what I do with Twitter is, and everything that I put on Twitter and post on Twitter is going to get to 3 places. One, it's going to get you to my website. So when I post a blog, my blog is connected to my website. So anybody who clicks that link goes right to my website. Okay, so that is one of my key strategies, and it is very successful. I've been very successful with it. And so to the point where, I have gotten a few clients from doing that, and I've gotten a lot of engagements and a lot of shares. So that's been really fun. And I mean, I've been at places sometimes where I'm not like a big name out there, but someone goes, "Oh, I've seen your blog," or somebody the other day, I guess, was on LinkedIn and said they stumbled across my blog. Well, if they stumbled across my blog, that means they were on my website. And how I know if people are connecting on my website is when they download my free, I have like a free offer that I give out. I give a free book, how to take the overwhelm out of social media. And people download that. And so I know that's how I know my social media marketing is working. That's one of the ways that that's how I analyze it, to see if I'm getting people to come to my website. So, anyways, that's one of my strategies. The other thing I do with Twitter is get them to my Facebook page. So I'll maybe do a post and then I'll link it to Twitter, and that's how I'll do that. And the third way is what I did for instance, this webinar, to get people to my webinar. So, whereas most of the people that are on this webinar are from LinkedIn, because I targeted LinkedIn. So most of you probably connected with me through LinkedIn. That was strategic. There's probably a few of you that did not connect with me on LinkedIn and connected with me from Twitter or Facebook, but most of you came from LinkedIn. So a little bit of Twitter, some strategies and using Twitter for your business. Again, I'm always going to say this, know your why. So I just shared my why. I want to use Twitter to get everybody to my web page, and those two other places, my webinars and my Facebook page. You need to have followers. There's this thing, will work for followers. Well, you have to go out there. And how do you get followers? How do you get good followers? First of all, don't go out and buy followers. Bad, very bad. They unfollow you anyway. So, the other thing that and I'm going to share this more on LinkedIn when I talk about LinkedIn, is basically you want to, I'm sorry, I'm just checking out the time. I'm going really fast here, and the time is slipping away. Basically with Twitter, I'm just going to go through this really quick, is when it comes to followers, how you get the best followers is make sure at least they have a profile and a profile picture, and make sure I have a rule with, like, for instance, LinkedIn and Twitter, that you have to have at least 200 followers for me to follow you, or, and again, you can target, you can use some strategies with targeting. You want to tweet often and consistently. I do 3 times a day at strategic times. So for me, it's 10, 2, and 5. And then I change that according to a tool that I use called Crowd Booster. Check it out. It does cost something. I don't have an affiliate link for that or anything. So, I mean, I'm not getting any money for promoting them. But I like Crowd Booster for one reason only, just to tell me the times that my particular fans are engaging. And that's the times that I usually go with. Follow your target market again. My target market is business to business. So I'm going to follow people who own their own businesses. Use promotional tweets. So I'm not talking about, please buy my water bottle. I'm talking about, hey, join me for a free webinar. Those are okay, and not overkill with that. People get tired of free webinars. There's tons of free webinars all over the thing, and I want to hope that after you leave tonight, and I'm sorry about the audio visual stuff, but I want to hope tonight that this is helpful for you. I want to hope that I've given you some valuable information. Use keywords, tweet stats. Check out tweet stats. I'll give you post during peak times. So a peak time, I don't care where you are, but 5 p.m. Eastern time, Pacific time, Mountain time, overseas. If it's 5 p.m., people are leaving work. They always go on to Twitter. And the other times when they're on Twitter is at lunchtime. Check out your lunch stats. So try to get on between 12 and 1 on Twitter. Some of my tips: use it to grow traffic to your website or blog, which I already said. Ask questions, tweet interesting things like articles you read. If you share somebody's stuff and then somebody sees that you retweeted their information, they're going to love you forever. They're going to follow you, and then your reach will get into their reach. It's awesome. Solve some problems. Answer questions sometimes if you see one that's in your field. Share some of your opinions. Tweet links about your content. Retweet someone else. More tips that will help you engage. Share other stuff first before you expect them to share yours. Find the 5 or top 10 peeps, and share their stuff. and how is that done? Basically what you do is you find out like who you really like that's in your field that, maybe isn't direct competition. So, maybe you are a wedding photographer and you know a great family photographer. Maybe all you do is specialize in wedding. Well, it wouldn't hurt like if, this family photographer does an article on, how to shoot great photos, family photos. Maybe you might want to share that, and sort of make sure they're not in the same state you are too. Those are some things that you can do. Always be real, be human, and that's across everything. You want to listen and you want to be a resource to others. Tool tweet stats, I just want to kind of show you I'm just going to go through this really quick. You just put your Twitter username where you see the URL place, and you just kind of, you definitely, what you want to do is you'll see different stats, your tweets per hour, tweets per month. This I took a long time ago. So, but anyways, kind of couple cool things that you want to kind of look at. It will show you the tweets per day. But this is kind of really cool. It will show you over the year. This was done in 2013, December 10th. I didn't do a recent one. I just kind of wanted to show you the tool. This is really great though. This is called the Tweet Cloud. And this shows you some really interesting keywords that you might like, like I hashtag small biz a lot. I hashtag advertising sometimes. I hashtag content providing. I do blog post hashtags. So those are things. Some other Twitter etiquette, always add value. Remember, everything you do, this should be your strategy, number one strategy. You want to always add value to your potential client or clients. You don't want to add value to yourself. In other words, you're not posting to add value to you. You're always thinking of them. And this is just an overkill, just don't overuse hashtags. A follow back is always nice, but not required. If you think that it doesn't serve you in any way, if it's somebody who posts negative stuff or whatever, you can always unfollow them if they're posting some bad stuff. And don't just tweet headlines and links. Give, kind of give and take, give your take, give some opinions sometimes in short, brief time. Also, leave room for them to retweet so they can add their name. Avoid negativity. Don't overshare. Share constructively. Don't never post while intoxicated. Okay. Anyways, LinkedIn. This is my platform, folks. This is where I spend a lot of my time. Not most of my time, but a lot of my time. I do a lot of work on LinkedIn. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. And if you're a business to business, you should be spending a lot of time on LinkedIn. And I think I would do you a disservice if I didn't share what is, I think, the most important, some more really important things when you're thinking about LinkedIn strategy. I'm not going to go over all the questions again, but here's an interesting thing. This is one of those your e-card things. It says, sorry, my LinkedIn profile reveals just how unprofessional I really am. And one of the biggest things I see out there, and this is why I want to share this really quick, is your profile. You have to have a really good profile. Headshot, Photoshop. Don't give a blurry Photoshop. Or don't do a selfie. Make sure you have your location, your industry. Make sure your summary is with your professional experience. Keyword it. Keywording is so important throughout if you do real estate, for instance, say you do commercial real estate, make sure you're keywording your summary with that word, commercial real estate. Position, make sure there's some keywords in there. Education, put that in. Recommendations. Okay, there's two kind of recommendations. I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on it. Recommendation is great. They have endorsements. Endorsements doesn't take much. People endorse you. There's nothing you can do about it. You'll get endorsed from people you don't even know, hoping that you will endorse them back. I try not to. I don't think I've ever made this mistake, but I might have in my haste. But I try not to endorse people I don't know that I haven't done business with. But recommendations, when you get one, you ask them if they could post it on LinkedIn for you. You can't post it for them, but they can post it and really make it easy for them. Say, hey, I really love the recommendation you gave me. I'm putting it on my website. Would you mind putting this on my LinkedIn page? And I mean, that's that simple. It's really good to always try to get up. I had somebody just recently do one for me. It's going to be on my website, but I have to ask them now to actually do it for my LinkedIn page. You can do like I can put this PowerPoint up on SlideShare if I want to, so people can see. I do some videos that I've done that I've put on my profile. So that's really quick. Blogs, what I do with my blogs is I actually post them. I'm always posting my blogs on LinkedIn sometimes I do it in groups and stuff like that. Key strategy in making content. This is my key strategy. So basically, I send LinkedIn email messages. If somebody wants to connect with me, I try to invite them to something, give them something, have a meeting with me, have a talk with me if they want to talk about social media or if they want to even talk about their business. I find something that we have in common. It seems I'm an open networker, so it seems kind of odd if I haven't really ever had a conversation with somebody. So my key strategy is I want to have that conversation. If it's not a one-to-one conversation, it's a conversation that we're having on a webinar. So that's, this way you get to know, like, well, is she good? Does she do these things? How is she? Does she know her stuff? I would hope you're asking that question, So anyways, never forget to connect with your friends and colleagues. You never know who they may know. Searches you can do, people search. You can search for certain people. You can do an advanced search, which is really cool because you can there's where you can target even area, age again. Maybe you want to connect with all photographers. So you want to see who's your first connection, so you can actually connect with them and actually have a conversation with them. Those are like some key things, but know why you're doing it. Why do you want to connect with photographers? Or if you want a construction company, maybe you sell a product to electricians. Well, you know what? So then type in electricians and see what comes up. So those are some things you can do. You can do group searches. I'm going to talk really quickly about groups. Don't send spammy messages to your connections on groups, and slow down the sale, kind of don't keep on plugging the same thing over and over again. I try to plug different things at different times. Don't, once a day on LinkedIn is good enough. It's not like Twitter, like 3 times a day. Keep it professional. And don't send weird, creepy messages. Okay, what's a weird, creepy message? Hey, I noticed you looked up, and I made this mistake, so I can say this. I see who views my profile, and one day I sent a note to somebody saying, hey, I see that you were looking at my profile, let's have a conversation. Well, that was a big mistake because they got really upset with me. So you don't want to do that. Let people stalk you as much as they want, at least you know who's looking. Oh, key though. So I started to notice, for instance, I do social media marketing and managing. I started to notice that the people that were actually looking at my profile were other social media managers and stuff. So then my marketing wasn't really working because I don't really want to reach out to other social media marketers and management companies. I want to reach out to business and other, small businesses. So that helps a lot. So I just wanted to share that. One other thing about groups, three groups in your own profession, all the rest should be your target market. Some other do's, make sure you turn off your notifications when you're updating your profile. Have a profile picture, of course, have a complete profile, make your contact list available to your connections. This way somebody can reach out to you and say, hey, I see you know this person. Can you give me a warm introduction? Because you do really want to help people. Personalize everything when communicating via email and request for connecting. Don't use the standard canned, I'd like to connect with you professionally or whatever it says. You just don't want to, hey, I met you at this is better. Hey, I met you at a networking event. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn to see how I can better help you. Some tools that I'm just going to say that are very strategic in helping you with your marketing, which is Hootsuite. Check it out, hootsuite.com. Crowd Booster, I talked about that. It's crowdbooster.com. Likealizer is cool. It just kind of shows you some things about Facebook. You put your Facebook fan page URL in there, and it will tell you, like, it will give you recommendations. Like, for instance, this at this particular time I was 47. The recommendations they gave me at this time were very helpful. It said try promoted page ads to gain more likes, create more engaging posts, review the length of your posts, use call to actions. Something I never stated in any of this that I was sharing was make sure that you are actually just make sure that you're actually always giving a call to action. So really kind of important. And just more stuff they will tell you who you're comparing with. Are you in the average? And it helps you improve. So here's just some of the dashboard of that. Really cool thing. It's free. So one of the things that I wanted to share is that some strategy around social media content strategy. Decide what kind of content you will share with your audience. Make sure it's valuable. Share that content multiple times over multiple platforms. Use LinkedIn to personalize some of your content. Theme it, plan it strategically. So sometimes what I do is I'll do a Facebook month. This month is a strategy month. So that's what I do. That's what I plan. So, some trends. I'm just going to go this really quick. SEO is important. If you can't do it yourself, hire somebody to do it. Facebook has been going down in organic reaches over the last year. Make sure that sometimes you boost a post with an ad that's really important. Target it, plan it. It's better sometimes to create an ad than boost it, but I have luck with both. Spend some time on LinkedIn, especially if you're a business to business. Blogging really does help. If you're not currently blogging, try to. Post good content, not mediocre content. Visual is good. And then lastly, I'm pretty done here tonight. I'm just going to kind of look at the questions really quick because I got a bunch of them in. But what I want to talk to you about, I have this. I'm really kind of excited about this. I don't really like to sell stuff in my webinars, but what I'm going to be doing is for the first 10 people only, and I want to offer a free strategy session. And basically how I want to do this, and I'll just kind of explain what we'll do. The first 10 people, they click this link. You can't click this link, so you actually have to write it down. I'm also going to be sending it in an email. It's totally a free strategy session. And basically what we're going to talk about, you're going to have an opportunity to go online, and it's the first 10 people. Again, I'm only going to do 10. There's like 84 people, 90 people on this webinar. I can't do for all 90 people. It would be impossible. But for the week of August 25th, basically what I'm going to do is you'll get an opportunity to meet with me for a strategy session on your business. We'll talk about your business. We'll get you on track for growth. And basically, we'll have a solid social media strategy that you can implement right away. Once you sign up, you'll be giving me your email and your phone number. I will call you. And if you're real long distance, but basically what we'll do is we'll do a Skype call or a Google Hangout call to keep the cost down. But basically, I will send you a brief questionnaire so I can get to know more about your business, and we will get you started. And so definitely take advantage of this. I'm really excited. I want to again thank you. Also, shoot me an email. You'll get a follow-up email. Just shoot me an email and tell me what you thought of the webinar and how I can help serve you better. It would be, awesome. So just remember, I will be emailing you this link too, but if you want to be one of the first ones to do this, it would be great. And then the other thing, I just want to, again, definitely thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this webinar. I am going to go quickly now to the questions. If we have any... Okay, now I don't actually no questions. I have no questions. If anybody wants to quickly ask a question, if they have one, feel free to. I'm definitely open for some questions. Hi. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Great. Any other? Also, one other thing is if you have any, if you have, when you get that survey, definitely definitely answer the question, because I'm planning for the next webinar as we speak. So definitely. All right. Well, you know what? I have no more questions. There was no questions, I should say. And I want to just thank you for, again, joining the webinar, and definitely be sure to sign up for this strategy session. I would love to help your business. I would love for your business to grow. And until next time, this is Lorraine Duncan from bizgonesocial.com, and have a great evening.